everyone. Welcome to Conversation with Lady Dane. I'm here tonight because um got into a discussion and I felt that it's a topic that we need to talk about. Um so Me and the person that I was talking with it about, we're gonna discuss it even further on here. My guest today is, of course, the Black Knight, Maximum Black.
What's going on, Lady Day? You know I love this show, right?
Yes.
I like this show better than I like my own show. It's
Uh
kind of
huh.
cool to not have to be the host and just be a guest. I get to ramble on. But yeah, I'm here tonight, y'all. We're gonna get it on. Me and the Lady Knight was in the back chat having a pretty deep discussion, and we thought that we would bring it out in front and let you people know what we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lady Knight, I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's face it, everyone. We've been getting a lot of shootings going on. Women are being killed. Children are being killed. Pregnant women are being killed. Regardless, the children are either killed or they coming into the world hurt. And as Max pointed out, this is by the hand of black supremacy. These are black people
No,
who
no,
are
no, no, no.
more
The
important.
black, no, 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 no. The black hand of white supremacy.
Okay, the black hand of white supremacy.
Hmm.
Whether they accept it or not, know it or not, they are working for white supremacy. They are killing off women, children. They doing it selfishly. They being careless in the community. They got beef with another person. Instead of it being between just them two, they involve the whole community in it by shooting up the community.
Yeah, killing innocent babies.
You can't even have an innocent birthday party, a house birthday party. What could be more innocent than that?
Well,
You know, people are there to celebrate a birthday of someone and have all the friends and family and at the home. Okay, it's not like it's gonna be a big venue. It's at home. And then before you know it, some fool comes in, um, feeling like somebody invaded his so-called territory, and then starts spraying through the crowd. Two people get killed. Rest of them are wounded. People are fleeing. Was supposed to be a fun event for family to get together, people to meet and talk and stuff like that. Casual, something that you used to be able to do safely, turn into a mayhem of blood, madness, and bullets.
hmm
And so, um, while person reporting it, you feel the need to say something on that too. Um, Especially Max, since you grew up in Jersey.
hmm
What was your reaction when you first heard about it?
well, the first person I called was my boy Mike. He's like a brother to me. We grew up together, and we talked about it. It happened out in Fairfield. Okay, now they used to be an all-white community, but black people migrated out there, so you got some black folks out there now, and it seems to be turning into a gang town. The problem is these gangs. The problem is the mentality of black males like the manosphere. Listen, you guys have no idea how problematic the mentality of the manosphere really is. All this MGTOW crap, this is really damaging to us as a black society because what it does is it teaches our young boys to hate women. It teaches them and it encourages them to commit acts of violence towards our women and the children too, because none of these guys want to take care of their children. This is why they always hollering and screaming about child support. So they hate the woman and they hate the child too because they don't want the child. See, these guys just want to have free sex with no responsibilities and no strings attached. They blame the woman for getting pregnant. They don't blame themselves for being irresponsible. And so their hatred and their message trickles down to young black youth. I see young black youth out here right now who don't want to be with girls at all. Young black boys, 14, 13, running around in packs like wolves, all with their pants hanging down,
Mm-hmm.
showing each other that they have access to each other's behinds. Have no interest in girls. There's not one girl in the pack. Not one girl. I see them hanging with each other all the time. No girls around. That's unusual. When we were that age, we couldn't stay away from girls. Matter of fact, when we were that age, we stayed away from each other. We didn't want to be around each other unless we was playing baseball, football, basketball. That's really the only time we got together. We didn't really hang out like that because everybody was with their girlfriends. And then your parents, we had the kind of parents that encourage you, okay, to go get your little girlfriend or something like that because the sentiment was, you guys heard me say this before, if you were with your girl, you weren't in the street causing trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And which guards against this very thing that you see now, these large contingents of boys running around the street with no fathers, no guidance, and they're being raised by the street, and they're being raised by gang leaders who teach them how to be monsters. Because the gang members and the gang leaders are monsters. All they do is kill. All they do is destroy. All they do is steal, kill, and destroy. And that's the only thing that they're going to pass down to your young boy. They're going to teach him to do the same thing. So without any fatherly guidance, you're talking about this same contingent of boys growing up to be monstrous type men who have no regard for life. That is the origin of this kind of behavior. I don't want to hear nothing about, we can sit up here and dibble and dabble about psychology and say all these fancy words and say, oh no, it was because he was deprived and he was hurting animals at the age of 2 and all this other craziness, right? But the
Mm-hmm.
bottom line is the boys have no guidance. The boys have no teaching. And a boy is naturally going to seek out a father. And when they go
Mm-hmm.
into these streets with no fatherly guidance, no fatherly teaching, they will find fathers on the street. And nearly 10 times out of 10, they're going to find the wrong kind of male influence on the street, which is going to help them grow into these monsters that you see today that are taking the lives of our women and children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I heard rumors that they were making fun of the girl that died, but they didn't
Hmm.
take into account that she wasn't the only one that died. There was
Hmm.
a young man, 30 years old, who also got
Hmm.
killed.
Hmm.
So they trying to say that his death it was just as funny as hers, since they are
No,
making jokes.
no, they're actually blaming his death on her.
Oh, what? Because he's a man who's trying to have a conversation with a beautiful young woman.
Hmm. An unruly young woman.
There's nothing that says she's unruly.
See, what kills me is a lot of these guys, with the way they talk, I'm convinced that there's something mentally wrong with all of them. There has to be.
Hmm.
Because, for one, you don't own anything, you don't have any power, you don't defend anything, you don't build anything. So, how are you expecting someone to submit to you and be under your rulership or be under your leadership? First of all, your leadership is piss poor to non existent. We could see that with the young boys being raised in the street like animals.
Uh huh.
That goes to your leadership is piss poor. Now, another thing is you don't own anything. Many of you guys are renting apartments. Now, I'm not saying that you can't get a temporary shelter, an apartment, or whatever, but you should strive to own your own house, even if it's a small house. You don't have to go for the gusto right away and get you a big mansion that you can't afford. Get you a small one bedroom house. If it's just for you, get you a small house, something you can afford, but own it. You got a lot of men out here who can't afford houses, but they own trailers.
That's
Get you a
true.
trailer. Get something that you own. Get used to owning something. You don't own anything. You don't have any power, so you can't make any demands. You got guys out here who are powerless and own nothing and have nothing are making demands. You are in no
Hmm.
position to make any demands. You're not even leading your communities. Your communities are corrupted because of piss poor leadership. And you don't want to raise your children. And this is problematic. This is not rocket science. You don't raise your children, this is what they turn into.
Hmm.
It's a high probability that your children will grow up to be dangerous men.
Hmm. Yeah.
And we seem to be getting our fair share of dangerous black men who are murdering black women in cold blood. In some cases, executing them in front of their children. And then going on these emotional rants. Weak.
Or or they sleep with the girl. The girl's pregnant. She refused to abort it, so they decided to get rid of the mother. And they saying the child ain't his. If the child ain't
Yeah,
you, why are you killing the mother? All you got to
exactly.
do a DNA test.
Well, what it is that these guys have the emotions of a pregnant woman. Okay. So imagine a pregnant woman inside a man's body going through all of these emotions and mood swings, and then give her a gun. That's the kind of males you have right now. They're pregnant women with guns. And you can
Uh,
tell that by after they commit the atrocity, how they fall apart after the process. We've seen several guys now fall completely apart emotionally. Oh, I don't know what happened, man. I just did that shit. I just did that. Don't even make any sense. They're not
mhm.
even what you call that name? Starts with a C. Not coercive. Uh, I can't get it right
Coherent.
now. Coherent, right? Not even coherent. Oh, I did that shit, man. I fucked that shit, yo. I just did that shit, man. I just shot her, man. I shot her, yo. I'm done, yo. I'm done, yo. Oh, I did it, yo. I'm done, yo. Oh, that's fucked up, yo. Yo, why she do that, yo? Why she did? Yeah, mood swings, uncontrollable emotions, just like a pregnant woman. If you ever been around pregnant women, you know what I'm talking about. Most pregnant women, when they go through their thing, one minute they hot, next minute they cold, next minute they lukewarm, then they hot again, cold again. They have you jumping from one foot to the other because they're going through a lot emotionally because they're pregnant. These men got the same kind of emotions, unstable emotions. But a pregnant woman has an excuse. She's pregnant. She's not losing her mind. She's just going through a cycle dealing with her child. She's not crazy. These dudes are crazy. These dudes are mentally messed up and emotionally messed up. And I mean, they're so weak emotionally, man. It's just it's embarrassing now. The image of black men is an embarrassing one.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. All these so-called killers, they see somebody they going after, they shoot everybody else in the vicinity but the person that they supposed to be trying to shoot.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And that's because they don't care. That's because they don't have any mental stability. You see, a leader has a sound mind. You know, a leader doesn't go off half cocked and don't do things. A strong leader don't go off half cocked. Don't do things that are completely out of control. Don't just blow up everything. These guys, man, they don't have no stability mentally. They don't have no stability emotionally, and they just go and they just murder people because of their emotions. These guys are highly emotional. These are the most emotional men I've ever seen, and they look how they're being cultivated. When you have effeminate males like the Manosphere, you have the SYSBM, you have the MGTOW, all of these messed up dudes. This is who they have to look up to. So if they're not being raised in the street by animals, right? They're being raised by effeminate males who hate women. So they have the worst of two worlds. They have the criminal element on the street that gives them the heart to go do a heinous crime. And then they have the emotional anger that they learn from the manosphere to put with that. So now you got men, boys who are feminine, who act like girls, who have the heart to commit crimes. It's a
Hmm.
mess.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's kind of like
A pressure
a
bomb.
yeah, or what is that animal that's half human and has horse?
A centaur.
A centaur or a sagittarius, whatever it is, a centaur, something like that.
Hmm.
It's kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? They're half and half.
Hmm.
It's like one half of them.
Okay, Max, you kind of dropped off there. Yeah, half man, half horse. Never completely one or the other. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So in their need to make fun and justify, they making fun of this young lady. You figured they'd be the main one crying since she fit the criteria of what they think of as the perfect black woman. She's young, she working. Um,
I'm sorry, I got knocked off. So what I was saying was, it's like half of them is male and half of them is female.
wouldn't that make them a hermaphrodite?
Yeah, it's kind of like a centaur, right? Like they got a human upper body but got a horse lower body. These guys got like a male upper body and a female lower body. You know what I'm saying? Or a female upper body and a male lower body. It's just weird, you know. And they're completely screwed up in the head. Um,
Oh. Mhm.
and again, this is the fault of failed, leadership. There is no leadership to speak of. None.
Mm-mm.
No leadership.
No leadership to tell to you're not trying to kill everybody.
Hold on one second.
No, no. Minotaur is half man, half bull. Um.
Yeah, Minotaur. Yeah, a
Oh.
Minotaur, a Centaur. I'm going for the half and half.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So it's like they're half woman. It's like one part of the body is female, the other part of the body is male. Take your pick. Some got a top female body with a male lower body. Some got a male upper body with a female lower body. Take your pick. I mean, these dudes are screwed up, man. And as black men, the ones who are left that are in our right state of mind, who are strong, who are manly men, this is problematic because they're killing the future.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand something. I'm 54, right? So my generation, you know, we're in our home stretch. The generation that's out here now, that's your future. And they're murdering the future. And what I can't understand is why isn't that a priority? Why aren't we talking about it? Why isn't this a big story? Why is a punk like Kevin Samuels the center of everybody's attention? And why do we even care? How is it that we have black men who are famous for disrespecting black women?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what does that say about us as black men? I mean, that's not something to be proud of. I mean, that's not something that we wear as a badge of honor. That's not honorable. You're famous because you degrade women. You disrespect women. That's what we're famous for. We can't be famous for building bridges or building buildings, institutions of higher learning with high tech or advanced this. We can't be famous for that. We have to be famous as males for being pimps. We have to be famous for disrespecting and degrading women. We have to be famous for talking about we don't want to pay child support. That's what we're famous for.
Unfortunately. Unfortunately, that's what's been happening over the past 50 years.
Right. And it's getting to a point now that we're going to have to make a decision as black people. We're going to have to decide which is more important to us, the lives of our women and children or drama and gossip. I already know what side I'm taking. I'm taking the lives of our women and children. I don't give a shit about no gossip or the drama. But I can't make everybody make my decision. You got to make your own decision. Take a look at what's happening to your people. Take a look at what's happening to your community. While we're laughing and singing and dancing and moonwalking, our people are being exterminated. We have mothers, understand this. We have young mothers who are being executed in front of their children by emotionally unstable males, black males. We have babies who are being executed. I still can't get out of my mind how that black father, shot his 2-year-old 3 times.
Are they
It was
so?
only by the grace of God that baby survived. But he shot that baby 3 times. He shot a 2-year-old 3 times. We got psychotic people running around in our neighborhoods. We have lunatics running around in our neighborhoods. Psychopaths. This isn't entertainment. This shit is real.
Mm-hmm.
That young girl who was murdered and that man who murdered at that birthday party, that wasn't about drama. That wasn't about no damn entertainment. Those people are dead. murdered by some unstable lunatic. Well, there's no such thing as a stable lunatic. I meant to say murdered by a lunatic,
Mhm.
an emotionally unstable black male with a gun.
Who thought the
This
people
need,
at the birthday party was taking over his turf? What kind of bull is that?
hey, we need to make this the top story.
Mhm.
Kevin Samuels shouldn't be no story about. What the fuck we give a damn about some mixed up sexually mixed up dude. That's his problem. And we shouldn't give him the attention that he has right now. See, he wouldn't be as big as he is if nobody paid him any attention. See, what the people have to understand, in any event, the power always lies with the people. The problem is the people don't know what to do with the power that they have. And the people who are in power, who are pretending to be you, are abusing your power because you don't know you have power. And they know that you don't know what to do with the power. So they flaunt the power in your face and they abuse it until you take it away from them. The power has always been with the people. The way you stop a guy like Kevin Samuels, if you cut off his support, and he will crash and burn. None of these people can exist without support.
Mhm. Yeah.
And the support comes from the people.
Mhm.
The people just don't know what to do with the power that they have. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah. Yeah, because we are giving him support, even by us wanting to tell those that support him, "Hey, I told you so." I know that's a very powerful urge to rub it in into the people you disagree with, your enemy, whatever that supports him. That I told you so, but it ain't gonna change anything. You still be supporting him just by telling his people that I told you so. Okay, so now there's a picture proof. It's not going to change their minds. Those that support him going to support him regardless. Stop worrying about them. They're not that important. He's not that important. Okay, now that you got it out your system, let's get to the real thing, the more important thing. The things that's going badly wrong in our communities. What can we do to correct that? You know, should those that's living in that neighborhood is come together and start getting these gangs out of the community? Because the gangs are getting so territorial that people coming to a birthday party is seen as if they're being invading the turf. They turn it into a turf war when it's just a birthday party. When you got crazy people that can't tell the difference between a birthday party and a rivalry from another set, you got a problem. These are young guys who don't have the fear. They're just gonna up and do. They don't care about jail. They don't care about prison. They ain't even thinking that far ahead. They just thinking in the immediate. And in the process, they're gonna mow everybody down in the process. Two people got killed. A whole bunch of others end up in the hospital. A future got swiped away. These two people could have talked with each other at the birthday party, fell in love, have a family. have children and so forth. But that's gone. The girl is dead. The guy is dead. Their future is gone. Their families are mourning them. Their deaths, the possibility, you know, and there's a whole other group that they're connected to. You know, that girl worked at a nursing home. She took care of elderly. She was going to get full on nursing degree. All that's gone. And even if those two might not have been, that was a future wife, mother that was taken away before she even got started. That was a future father, husband taken away. And then there's the trauma of everybody that managed to survive that. Birthday parties are not going to be to seem safe anymore. There's nowhere you can go to have fun as a group because you don't know when some fool out there is going to run into some other fool out there and they decide to go at each other. If we do, we're going to have to start doing it the way we would do at a major event. We're gonna have to start having the police involved. We're gonna have to start patting our guests down for guns, police in the neighborhood, finding out if there's gangs affiliated with your neighborhood. Is the people that you invited to the party part of a gang and all that other stuff? Oh, we're gonna have to start doing that with our guests to have a safe event. You figure you can't be no safer than at the house. It's a house party, a party in the backyard. Was the guy that killed those two people, was he a guest or was he in the neighborhood? And as I said, couldn't tell the difference between a birthday party and a set invading a territory, and then just start killing.
Well, like I said, this, to me, that's the finished product right there, right? We
Hmm.
got to get to the root of what's causing all of this. And what's at the very root, and what's at the very root of this is absentee fatherhood and failed black male leadership. There's just no way around it. You can't blame this on the black woman. The black woman don't have anything to do with this. It's not black women out there who are committing these kinds of crimes. These crimes are being committed by black males. So this falls on the black men. The black males are supposed to be your jurisdiction. You are supposed to be governing over these black males. You're supposed to be dictating, teaching, and raising, shaping, and molding these black males. But the black male today is such a sexual deviant. He wants to have sex with these males rather than raise them to be productive, upstanding men of integrity and honor and courage. That's why they're walking around here with their pants hanging down and their butts showing because they want to have sex with each other. This is one of the reasons why they don't love women because they love men. This is why they make songs that favor the affection of men.
Hmm.
What kind of
So,
fool listens to a song that degrades women but pretty much displays affection for other men? We don't love these hoes. We don't love, I'm assuming, the hoes of women. If you don't love these women, then who do you love? Other men? You love men?
or they
I had
sound
to,
they're
I had to, I had to change the way I listen to music. I listened to music for years until somebody cracked my skull open about something. A young lady named Melanated Misfit who hasn't been here in a while. Shout out to Melanated Misfit. Hope she's doing okay over there in Cincinnati. Well, she got me thinking about something. I had to go back and listen to a lot of music. This stuff has been going on for a long time. It's been going on for a long time. Men have been singing about affection for other men for a long time. Now, it wasn't back in my era where I grew up because we had the black love going because you had black men singing love songs to women and women singing love songs to men. But after that, when the hip hop came in, that's when all of this uh, affection for other men came in. Everybody was homies, my dog, my dude, my this, my nigga. What? I mean, that seems to be replacing my honey, my sweetheart, my better half.
Yeah.
You know, see, back in the day, we called our girls our sweetheart. We called them our boo. We called them our better half. We called them our honey. Now that done been switched to my dude, my nigga, my dog.
Hmm.
So these guys have effectively took the affection that men used to have for women and turned it around to other men. This is why you see groups of dudes together now, and they seem to be really, really tight. Even back in the day when I hung with my boys, we wasn't tight like that. First of all, we were always fighting each other. Okay,
Yeah.
that's one. Half the time we couldn't stand each other, we was punching each other in the mouth, right? So, two, we only hung around each other for events. If it was a block party or something and there was girls there, we hung out because there was girls there. When we got together, we didn't get together to just stand around and look at each other. No, we got together. We had a plan. We wanted to go meet some girls. Every day it was about meeting girls. And if you didn't have a girlfriend, you know, we would try to hook you up. We would go places to go find a girl, try to talk to girls. That's what the excitement was. It was all about being with a girl. We didn't want to be in each other's face like that. We didn't want to be around each other like that. These guys now, that's all they want to be is in each other's face, like girls, like they trying to date girls.
Yeah.
Like I said, we got young dudes around here, 14, 15, don't even like women. Don't even like women. And I'm starting to see groups of dudes who are more chatty than females. Usually you see groups of women in the mall come by, they're always talking, always chatting. You know what I'm saying? You see women, two women walking down the block, they talking, always chatting. I'm starting to see groups of boys and men who are even worse than that, who are more chatty than women. That ain't nothing I ever seen before. I mean, they're chatterboxes. And then they're very slight in build, very frail looking, very wear tight clothes, coordinated like the way a woman is coordinated. And then they always gyrating and always gyrating their body around like they belly dancers or something. I mean, this shit is crazy, man. Where has the manhood gone? Where is the manhood? What happened to the manhood?
I don't know, but I know I've been fussing at
Yeah,
10,
Paul
11
Graves, I
year
did the
olds for
same
trying
thing.
to walk like
Yeah,
girls who
yeah,
think
Paul
it's
Graves.
funny.
Yeah, Paul Graves. You know what? Paul Graves, and I didn't even think anything about it until I was having a conversation up here one night with Melanated Misfit. Again, shout out to Melanated Misfit. Missed her, haven't seen her in a while. Hope she's doing well. Was having a conversation up here with her, and she hit me on something, and it made me think. I said, hey, you know what? Let me go back and take a listen. And I started going back, listening to old songs. I was like, wow, these dudes are in love with each other. A lot of your rap songs are secretly homosexual songs. A lot of these so-called rap stars, who you think was straight, they're gay. They're gay, and they got some of the hardest names, right? I bet you, like I said, shout out to Jaguar Wright, who is pretty much on the run. I haven't seen anything from her lately, so I hope they didn't catch up to her. But she's been exposing the music industry for what it really is. This is a bunch of homos.
Hmm.
So this has gone to the point where this is damaging to black people, um, because the hatred of our women is really hurting us. You're killing our young mothers. You're killing our young children. You're killing our future. It's time that we do something about it. We got to start putting more of a spotlight on this. We got to shine a light on this. We got to start doing rallies, whatever. We want to get out here talking about Black Lives Matter. Do they only matter when non-black people are taking our lives? How come they don't matter when black people are taking our lives? We're the Black Lives activists for this young lady right here, for this young lady who was killed at this birthday party, or that brother that was killed right along with her. Where's the Black Lives Matter rallies? How come people aren't in the street marching about it? Where's Benjamin Crump? Where are these so-called freedom fighters, or people who say that Black Lives Matter? Where's Al Sharpton?
You can't make money on that.
How come they only come out when non-black people shoot black people or kill black people,
Cause
but
they
don't do nothing or show up anywhere when we got black lunatics murdering babies? When that black dude shot his 2-year-old baby 3 times, there was no Black Lives Matter activists, no Al Sharpton, no Benjamin Crump. There was no new black lawyer looking to make a name for himself. There was nobody. Do Black Lives matter or not? Do they matter, period? Or they only matter when white people are taking our lives? They don't matter when black people are taking our lives? I mean, do Black Lives matter, period? Because let me tell you something. These murders right here, make no mistake, they hurt. I'm not discounting the George Floyds. I'm not discounting the brothers who've been shot unmercifully, being unarmed by race soldiers. Not discounting that. But I'm telling you that these murders right here with our women and children, these murders hurt more than you can imagine. And they're going to hurt us even more in the long run if they continue. If nothing is being done about it, we're supposed to be protecting our women and children. We are their protectors, not their murderers. I'm just wondering to some people, does black life really matter? Or it only matters when you can get some publicity or you can get a little business? If that's the case, we may as well just surrender now, just give on up, and just be happy with being captives and not complain anymore when white people shoot us. If we're just going to give up,
Hmm. Sound like something I said earlier about our history.
you know what highly favored. The problem is, she she raised him to be a thug, and he murdered somebody else black. That's the problem. He murdered somebody black too.
Yeah.
And you know, not to commandeer Lady Dame's show. This is her show, so I was just contributing. Um,
It's okay. It's okay. It's something that needs to be said.
are you okay?
Hmm.
You okay?
Uh-huh. I seen something similar. I don't know if it's good or bad. He attempted drive by, where the mother raised them to and it's not like they didn't have a father. But I guess he wasn't on top of he wasn't doing his thing. He just letting her run amok. I don't know. But to be little thugs and do whatever it is to make the money, including selling drugs, and they decided to do territory and drive-by shooting, fighting over territory and a girl. They shot up the neighborhood, but they didn't kill anybody. They didn't wound anybody, but they caught the attention of police, and their stuff was confiscated. I don't know what was the judge thinking about, but they were released on bail, and them idiots went and did another drive-by. They felt they were protected because they were working with somebody in the sheriff department was being protected. But turns out they were doing an investigation. That's why they were releasing them on bail.
Hmm.
So she was opening her big mouth and saying that the police did damage to her property, which her children were staying in since they were grown.
Hmm.
But somebody remind her to keep her mouth shut because them kids had drug on the property, they had guns on the property. So she kept her mouth shut and said no. She gave it to her children, and
Hmm.
after that, she didn't know what happened with it. But everybody blame is her fault because her. But the father was there. It's like, well, what was the father? He was at work. He's
Hmm.
always at work. Doesn't he ever be home? He just comes home, eat, go to sleep, and go right back out to work. He's one of them fathers. He just pay the bills. That's all he does. He
Hmm.
does raise the kids. He doesn't do anything with them.
No.
Mm-mm. He was a father in name only.
Hmm.
So these kids, some of them they do have two parents, but the parents are not necessarily good parents.
Hmm.
Yeah, the mother is telling them get money by any means, legal or illegal. The dad is working, work, 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 constantly working. In fact, they was making fun of him. His company finally shut down for the pandemic and sent everybody home. Nope. Do you think he stayed there? Nope. He decided to go working for the city because he refused to be home. Yeah, they shot at black folks. Other black boys also selling drugs and stuff like that. They were fighting over girls. Girl leave one dude, go mess with the other dude who's also selling drugs. The original dude gets jealous. Not to mention, it's fighting over territory because it's invading his territory sales and all that other stuff. So in some ways, they are little kids with guns. Instead of having a fist fight over the girl, they having a shootout over the girl. Not knowing if the girl is with the dude or not. She could have been killed just as easily. They shoot up the house where they supposed to be at, freak out the whole neighborhood, and everybody's sleeping in their bathtub, trying to figure out what the heck is happening. Since when did our little bitty town became a place of drive-by shootings? Oh, and those are the ones that's 20 in their 20s. From like 18 to 20, maybe 21. The older ones, the 30-year-olds, they gunning for a particular person. And anybody in the vicinity of the person they after get caught up. And sometimes the shooting is family related. A nephew's trying to gun down his uncle. Don't really know why. The uncle just washes his hand of it. He just doesn't come to town no more. Because he's trying to get away from all that. A place where people was talking about coming back home to retire because they lived in California, they lived in Texas. They were tired of all that madness that was going on. The cost of living is a lot easier, so their retirement money stretch a lot further, and or they could just go ahead and retire now instead of a few years from now, and come back home, and that's getting played out because now we're starting to get shooting. A lot of these young guys that they graduated from high school and they don't know what to do next. They don't want to go to college, or they got themselves caught up in something and they can't go to Job Corps because they already got a record. Can't go into the military because they already got a record. Because they trying to get that drug money instead of trying to improve themselves and make a better life for themselves. So don't be stuck in a small town with limited possibilities. Yeah. So we got to catch them younger and younger. Be like, okay, what do you plan on doing? Got to put it in their heads. You know, think about going into Job Corps. Um, learn carpentry or plumbing or mechanic. Become a mechanic or a diesel mechanic. All these other things. Yeah, I even tried to encourage them to go to the Job Corps that I've went to because that one is like one of the best, and they have um more trade skills that they train in welding, um air conditioning, cooling and air, and they have advanced trade. Let's see, let me see, heavy equipment operators. Oh shucks, I can't remember all of them, but there's plenty of them. And even if they have no idea when they get there, they can at least get started on the basics of the trade until they figure out if that's what they want to do. If it's not, they can always switch trades. It's just sometimes it's a longer wait, but they, but in the meantime, they learning some skills that they could use for the rest of their life. One of our deacons was mentioning in Sunday school how their father, even though he said, I'm gonna pay for you to go to college if that's what you want, but I want y'all to learn a trade. This is something that nobody could ever take away from you. He taught his sons plumbing. He taught his sons carpentry. He taught his sons electrician. And even though at least three of them went to college, three of them went to college, they still use those skills to this day. They still use those skills. They have their own businesses in them very trade skills. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. And even though they didn't see it at the time, because one of them was mentioned, he couldn't see it. He didn't want to be a plumber. He didn't care how good he was as a plumber. He didn't want to do it. In fact, he worked for the city as the with the water people, and he did that for years before he decided he's going to go on business, start his business. And what did he end up doing? He becoming a plumber. Plumbers are always needed. Carpenters are always needed. Electricians are always needed. Yeah. And my deacon, even though his sons, he could not get them to take plumbing like he did. They did work with their other uncles to make extra money. They did carpentry. It's just that wasn't their thing. Their main skill um was a barber. They wanted to be barbers, and they have their own barber shop. In fact, one of them expanded himself. He went into a business of his own. Mm-hmm. So you've been pushing, get interested in STEM and how to maintain programs for autonomous system that will begin to take over the future. Yeah, some people are trying to push their people into STEM. Yeah, but I have to admit the trade skills are very important, especially in my state where there's always constant weather related damage going on. You always need carpenters to rebuild the houses, and you always need electrician to rewire the houses. You always need plumbers. Shoots, y'all saw that damage that happened in Houston. Anybody that had any type of plumbing skills, all they had to do was start making their way to Houston, and it was gonna be making some money. Shoot, Houston, Louisiana, I believe Mississippi was on parts of it. All those that suffered through the freeze. It's just that Houston had it worse. Hmm. Yeah, because the other states had followed the guidelines that the electrical grid where they were at had recommended that it be done. But because Texas was its own had its own grid, they weren't prepared for that cold snap like they should have been. Okay, yeah, but shucks, I don't even think it's just boys anymore. Okay, like one of the church secretary, she got her license as an electrician, and she completed the course, but she didn't really want to work at it. But she knows what is supposed to be proper electrical things for her house. So nobody's going to be able to take advantage of her and feed her some kind of story thinking she don't know anything about electricity. So even though she went in because I think there was a program that was offered for um, at the time that she was a young lady where she could have been an electrician, and she went to the schooling and everything. She was thinking in terms of at the time that electricians make good money, and and to her it was the least dirtiest of work. But once she did it and she passed and she got her certification, she realized she didn't really want to deal with electricity like that. But she can wire her house if she chooses to. She can hire an electrician and be able to tell if one is trying to cheat her or not, or trying to um, save some money by using some kind of cheaper version than the original. So I said, "Well, did you let it go to waste?" She said, She said, "I keep up with the certifications and all the new up the grade stuff." She said, "I could." She said, "I could rewire my house if I want to by myself. I just prefer not to." You know. So and she worked for a while with electrician who's a member of our church. You know, she worked with him for a while to make sure that she was on point.
Hello.
Hey,
You, you forgot you got a guest up here?
well, I thought you had to take a little break because you kept bouncing off.
Mm.
Hmm.
No, I'm here.
Okay, we was talking about getting our boys into the basic trades. You know, the
Well,
carpentry, the electrician, and
well,
the,
that's the failure of black male leadership. I told you I learned how to do things because of my father. Our fathers taught us how to build. Our fathers taught us how to fix things. You know, your trade skills come from your father. You know, and if the mother doesn't have a father around, yes, you want to get your boys. If you got, listen, let me give you some of you single mothers' advice. Get your boys into things that's going to occupy their hands and their mind. If you can do that, you stand a strong chance of raising a solid male. Get them into like carpentry, brick masonry, technology. Get them into things that's going to consume their hands and their minds to where they'll stay in the house studying because they're interested. If you can afford some things for them to tinker with, buy some things that they can tinker with. So they can apply their trades. Get them learning trade. It's okay to have the big time intellectual stuff. Okay? But when it comes down to it, it comes down to who can build and who can't build, because even the intellectuals need someone to build. Nothing gets done without builders. And because a person is a builder, does not mean in any way, shape, or form that that person is dumb or that somehow that person is unintelligent. You know how smart you got to be to build a house from scratch? That ain't no easy job. And to commit all of that to memory, all those measurements, how to frame out rooms and all of that, that's no easy intellectual task. Or to learn how to build things that accommodate people, that give people the quality of comfort. You need intelligent people to build these things. Dumb people don't build things. You need intelligent people that know how things go together, that know how gears work, that know how machinery work, that know how parts are going to work together to produce certain results. So builders are no dummies. So don't think that you're dumbing your boy down by having him go into engineering or electricity or black people are flashy. Black people want the big names. Oh, my son's an engineer, my son is a scientist. I've never heard anybody say, well, my son is a brick mason. You know how important a brick mason is? You have any idea how important a brick mason is? And do you know how skilled of a brick mason you have to be to build today's buildings and bridges?
mm,
You know how important it is to be a welder or an electrician, especially with all this new fancy wiring that's being concealed and giving people the notion that everything is wireless.
uh,
But black people want all of the fancy things. I want my son to be an astronaut. I want my son to be a brain surgeon. Who said that these were top tier jobs? I mean, to be a successful brain surgeon, You got to be on the top tier before you start getting that big time money. And not everybody can be a brain surgeon. Everybody ain't cut out to be a brain surgeon. You're talking about delicate stuff. Everybody ain't cut out for that. And so, what do we do with our intelligence as black people? I can point out one thing that we do. We insult each other with it. Oh, you're dumb, you're stupid, you don't know nothing. That's all we do. We had some fools come up here talking about they want to have a conversation, right? First thing they came up here and did was try to act like they were smarter than everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
That their IQ was higher than everyone else. Probably never took an IQ test. Don't know what the two letters I and Q mean. But they got but they got triple digit IQs. Sound like an idiot, but they got triple digit IQs. I can't tell when you're telling people to read the data. Well, if that's all you did, then how smart is that if you tell anybody else to do it? If all you did was read the data and you tell anybody else to read the data, then how smart is that? Give us something that you can do that we can't do intellectually. Then we'll be impressed. But don't tell us to intellectually do stuff that you did that we all can do. Then if that's the case, we all got the same IQ you do, or higher. We all got triple digit IQs.
Mm-hmm.
And what kills me is the ones who come up here insulting people's intelligence don't know anything. Can't even think for themselves. Can't formulate one original thought. Everything is a regurgitation of somebody else's work. They have no original thoughts of their own. Couldn't rub two nickels together. Couldn't figure out 2 + 2. Don't know how to use their own mind. Can't even think for themselves. But yet they show up talking about, oh, you dumb. I'm far more intelligent than you. We had some fool up here calling himself an educated lame because he has a glorified GED degree. Seriously? We don't do anything with our intelligence but insult each other and put each other down. We don't use our intelligence to build anything. We're not building anything. Don't take my word for it. Go out there and show me some black infrastructure. Better yet, since we have such large IQs, the next time one of these fools come up there with this bullshit, I'm going to ask him to point out black architecture. I bet they can't point none out. I bet they can't point any black architecture out. What is our architecture as black people? If we didn't have the influence of the Western society, what would we build? What would our buildings really look like? See, the buildings that you see us building now for white people, that's their architecture. That's their influence. That's the way they see the world. That's the world that they want to live in. That's not our world. We don't know what our architecture is because we don't design anything for ourselves. The cars that are being built, that's a white man's vision. What kind of cars would we build if we were left to our own devices? What our cars would look like? What our buildings would look like? Would they be as high as 70 stories or would they be as low as 2 stories? Would they be wide? Would they be narrow? Would they be on an angle? What is our architecture? You put me in the city, I look at the architecture, I can tell you who lives in that city. I can tell you if there's Moors living in your city. I can tell you if there's Hispanics living in your city. I can tell you if there's Russians living in your city. I know the architecture. Every society, every race of people have their own unique architecture. Everybody in this world lives a certain way. Black people can't say we live a certain way because we've been living the way white people want us to live. And we've been building their architecture. What is ours? What is a building that you could point out and say that's our technology, that's our architecture, that's the way we live? That's a black person's building. That's a building black people are comfortable living in. What buildings can you point out and say black people live there, other than the projects? And we didn't even design those. That's also a Western, influence derived from prisons. That's why projects in prisons look almost virtually the same. So what is our architecture? What buildings will we design if we were left to our own devices? What will come out of our mind? What our designs would be? Will we design televisions the same? Watches, cars, buildings? We don't even know. But yet you got fools coming up here talking about they're smarter than everyone else. Don't know anything about their own culture. Don't know anything about their own capabilities as black people. Don't know anything about the capabilities of their own mind because they don't even think for themselves. They don't even use their brain. They just regurgitate.
Mm-hmm.
And they research information left behind by other people. They never create the information from their own mode of thinking. Like if you do a simple experiment with a black person, they'll go look for the research of someone who did it first. But they can't sit there and experiment and study that experiment and come up with their own information, their own findings, which is what other people do. Because many of them can't think for themselves. Listen, many of your so-called scholars, right, online, are not real thinkers. They're just regurgitators. Most of them have committed a large portion of information to memory. That's why many of them say the same thing over and over and over again. They stay in a certain wheelhouse until they master their information.
Mm-hmm.
Most of your so-called intellectuals are not intellectuals at all. They just say the same thing over and over again, and they committed a large portion of their rants to memory. That's why many of them sound so good. They sound like they're great orators. A lot of the stuff is just committed to memory. Like they won't get on here and try to solve something with you or try to figure something out with you or try to put something together out of nowhere. They won't do that
Mm-hmm.
because they're not thinkers. They're regurgitators.
Mm-hmm.
They live off of borrowed information, but you fancy them as intellectuals. I sat up in here and talked about a plan, starting with a penny, and how we can include everyone from step one. We can start to finance ourselves. That's a plan. That's thinking on the fly. That's putting something together. That's grabbing information out of nowhere and creating. That's thinking. They can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're so hell bent on books, because books give them an excuse not to think. And that's why they try to shame other people who don't read a lot. Everybody don't need to read because a lot of people can think.
Mm-hmm.
They don't rely on their own brain power. They just rely on their memory capacity. That's why they're always talking about, did you read this book? Did you read that book? And the books that they're talking about don't add up to shit. Because even if you read that book, it doesn't change the situation that you're in. It doesn't give you the blueprint on how to get out of the situation that you're in. It doesn't. See, they don't come over here messing with me because I don't have any time to play around with bullshit. Give me the solution. Don't come over here telling me about black people this, but I done heard all that before. What are you going to do about it? I don't want to hear nothing about what the white man did to us 500 years ago. We talked about this earlier about being a slave. If you've never been captured, you've never been held against your will, you've never been brutalized openly and beaten in public and degraded in public and made to do things against your will in public and serve other people, then you've never been enslaved. So what are you doing with a slave mentality? I'll tell you. Because you got a lot of people who don't want to think, and it's easy for them to go off of what already happened in the past. This is how they fool you over and over and over again, telling you about the past, not giving you any solutions going forward. And you support them over and over and over again. And they're going to keep doing it until you realize that they're phonies. They're going to keep doing it until you realize that they're phonies. Fake intellectuals. How can you be an intellectual and you can't even think for yourself? You don't know how to think. You can't formulate one original thought, but yet you're an intellectual. And these are the ones with the biggest mouths and the most insults. These are the ones who say that they're smarter than everyone because they read more than anyone and they commit stuff to memory more than anyone. So it's a memory contest. It's not a debate. It's disguised as a debate. But it's who knows, who can remember more. This is why when they get into these debates, right, you don't never hear them debating about black people. All you hear about them debating about government shit, what happened during slavery, famous authors like Sun Tzu and the Art of War. We got a bunch of wannabes, a bunch of dream catchers, a bunch of people with illusions of grandeur.
Mm-hmm.
Guys who want to be superheroes. Literally, comic book superheroes. Guys who are caught in the fantasy world. And when you talk about guys getting together in debate, they're not trying to find solutions. What it is that, no, I'm right and you're wrong. You're going to listen to me. And the one who thinks he's right all the time don't have any solutions either. None of them have any solutions at all, period. It's just a bloated memory contest that's disguised to look like an intellectual battle. And it isn't. It's a memory contest about shit that's not going to help us move forward as black people. That's all it's about. Auntie, they'll probably try to imitate the Lamborghini to match the white man's car. Barely anyone can drive that damn glorified Batmobile. Yeah, you're right about that. Lamborghini is a rough piece of smoke. I think some of them go up to 180 miles an hour or something like that, or 175 or 160 at least. That's pretty smoky.
Yeah, it's just an expensive cars for race car drivers.
Hmm. And that Lambo is pretty smoky.
But can you see a Lamborghini just going around town? That is something that was meant for a racetrack. People just want to have one and say that they own one. That's just a status symbol.
You talking about Becky?
Hmm? About
Talking about
Becky?
Becky in that talking about Becky in that big wheelchair with the big huge arms?
Are they bringing that up again?
No, I'm talking about that Becky we saw in the chat
Uh huh.
when her brother was trying to push her up the ramp in that wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
He said it was like trying to push a Ford F-150.
Yeah. And
See how
he,
big her arms was? Her arms
yeah,
was as big as love seats.
it was lucky for him that she had grabbed the hold of the bar on the walkway because when he
Her
slipped,
arms, her arms was as big as love seats.
yeah, yes, her arms was as big as love seats.
They were huge.
Yeah, and we saw him because she grabbed the hold of the bar when her brother slipped. Otherwise, she would have rolled right over him.
Yeah, it looked like her bicep was a overstuffed garbage bag. But these are who they calling status symbols. This she's a status symbol. Let's not forget she's a status symbol. Okay, James, I have to get off now. I got to get ready for my train trip. I'll be
Okay.
listening though. Thanks for having me on. But I'll
Thank you.
be listening. Okay, I'll be in the chat listening. But I got to
Okay.
get off right now and prepare myself to jump on this Amtrak train. I'll
Okay.
talk to you in a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
And shout out to everybody. Peace, power, and unity. Dane, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
And if I get done quickly, I'll come back on if you're still on. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. As I said, Lamborghinis are just a status symbol. Um, they're not. That's just for somebody to say they got one. Yep. That's why the Lamborghini is the most rented car ever. Well, it's gonna be safe. I guess. Yeah. Train trips are safe. At least it'll be a lot more comfortable than on the train. Yeah. Yeah. We had several people send us a link of Becky. Her brother's trying to wheel her into the hospital, and they gotta go up kind of like a ramp. But she's a bigger one. She's an extremely bigger one. Her own brother, who's trying to push her, saying he feels like he's pushing um uh, um F-1000, and then he slipped as he was trying to push her up. If she hadn't grabbed the hold of the bar, she would have rolled right over him, and he definitely would have been in the hospital because she would have rolled right over him. She must be at least 600 pounds. Yeah, Max was asking me. He didn't think they made a wheelchair that big. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, my mom would have said she's a big one. Yeah, yeah, she was definitely a big one. Actually, the whole family is big one. The sisters is in the wheelchair. The brother who's trying to push her into up this ramp so they can get her in the hospital, and the other little sister who's almost as big as the other two. Yeah, she wasn't even trying to help him. She was just observing. Pretty much, pretty much, Emmanuel Briggs. Well, actually, according to her brother, she weighs a lot more than that. She weighs as much as a F10. I think he said 150 Ford truck. And then he slipped. Like I said, it was a good thing she grabbed that bar, that rail. Otherwise, she would have rolled over him, and he would have been a bit back pancake. And he definitely need to be in the hospital. He's, he said she's gonna put me in the hospital along with her. I don't know how they're gonna get up in the hospital. The little sister wasn't doing anything. She wasn't trying to do all that pushing. She was trying to encourage him along. Yep, all white fat failures. Yep. The little sister may weigh as much as let me see. I'm trying to think. A motorcycle? Oh well. And he's talking bad about the heavier sister. I was wondering if all three of them were right there, who was taking the video? Yeah. So there's somebody else in that family that was there, that was just there to take the video. They just knew something funny was going to happen. But seriously, y'all, with all the shootings and killings that have been going on and stuff, it's very jarring that you see more people going to the to watch gossip and drama than to talk about and come up with some solution to the shooting that took place. You know, shooks. A figure, if nobody else, then at least the people that lives in those areas. But it was rather jarring to find out that more people wanted to say "I told you so," or they wanted to laugh that that he was caught out being what we always knew he was. But things don't change. Okay, you get your giggles. Um, Y'all got your giggles. Y'all got the "I told you so" out. I made a whole bunch of jokes, but nothing changed. It's gonna be something new tomorrow. The people that support him gonna keep on supporting him. They ain't gonna believe it. The shoots they already trying to make it sound like it's a setup, even though it makes no logical sense. But hey, that's the power of denial. And then they either gonna accept it and go, but so what if he is? Eventually, they're gonna accept that he is what he is. Yeah, yeah. The "I told you so" is very powerful. I know. Yeah, the ones that's gonna be in denial, they're gonna be in denial. They're gonna find a way to make it acceptable to them. So they'll either be in a "so what if he's gay?" That don't mean what he said isn't true. Mm-hmm. You're gonna get those in that group. But as I said, it ain't gonna change anything. And it makes the ones that's trying to make a difference in the community point out this is what's going on in the community, and we need to do something about it. You
Hello.
know. Oh, oh,
Hey,
hey
Jane.
man.
Let me. I'm sorry to cut it.
Go ahead.
You go anywhere, everybody going. I mean, it's social media. You go where you want to go. We
Whoa,
just
whoa, man.
about.
You dropped off. You very,
Oh,
very low.
how about now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. But if people are in denial, you can have all the proof you want in the world. If they insisting that they're right, then they will deny proof. Okay,
My bad.
Max.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Let me address something real quick.
okay.
Shout out to Hassan Bird and Yvette. Nah, Hassan, we're not talking about individuals going to anybody's channel. I mean, you do what you want to do with social media. We're talking about the overall mentality of black people. How we tend to be attracted to drama, where we have our future being taken away from us right in front of our eyes. I mean, that girl was 25 years old, and she died at the hands of another black man. And so was the 30-year-old brother that was with her. He was gunned down too. They're murdering our young people. Our young people are being murdered, and it seemed like nobody's paying attention to that. And that's what we're concerned with. We're frustrated with because although Kevin James is a funny story, but he should never take precedent over the lives of our women and children. That's just our opinion and how we see it because we pro-black. Other people may disagree with us, and that's fine. Everybody can have their own opinion about it. But that's just the way we see it. But we're not penalizing anyone or saying that you can't go here. Of course, we have no authority to tell anybody where they should go. All we're saying to people is, look within yourselves, make your own decision. Decide what's more important to you. Are the lives of our women and children and men important to you, or is drama and gossip more important? So that's the conversation that we're having today. It's about what's more important to us. You know, is drama and gossip more important, or are the lives of our people more important to us? I pointed out This girl was murdered, and the young man that was murdered along with her. Where's the rallies? Where is the marches? Where is the Black Lives Matter? Where's Benjamin Crump? Where's Al Sharpton? Where are these people who say Black Lives Matter? This young lady and this young man was gunned down attending a celebration of life. I don't see any Black Lives Matter rallies going on. I don't see anybody gathering out in the street ready to go for a riot. So, do our Black lives truly matter, or they only matter when they're being taken at the hands of white people? When they're being taken at the hands of Black people, I guess they don't matter. So that's what we was talking about. You know, it's not an individual attack, man. You can go whatever you want. We're not mad at anybody for going to whatever. I mean, explore whatever you want to explore. We're just looking at the overall picture. What really matters to us as Black people? Do we really care about our lives? Do we care about the lives of our women and children? Or do we care more about entertainment, gossip, and drama? That's all we're saying. You know, we're not penalizing anyone or holding anything against anyone for going to watch who you want to watch or going to, you certainly have a right to do that. Okay, so that's not what it was about. Okay, so I just want to clear that up. Okay, Dane?
Okay.
All right, y'all.
Okay.
And again, shout out to my man Hassan Burton. I'll let y'all later.
Hmm. Yeah, Hassan did share Hassan Campbell's uh, take on what happened at the shooting at the birthday party. Hmm. Yeah, and we went on to add more. Hmm. No, no, no. This was a birthday party. Actually, everybody at the party was shot at. Two people got killed. The rest of them, they were wounded and taken to other hospitals. They scattered. That's what it feels like sometimes. JBS suit. Yeah, when he was first mentioning that, I kept saying because they can't make no money off of it. If there was a way for them to make money off of it, they would be out there doing it. We would be seeing them all up at where the incident happened and having a conversation, uh, going before the news report and having a protest. I don't think they even know how to when it's our people killing our people. How do you protest? Well, if you got gangs in the neighborhood and you know where they at, I guess you could just show up there and protest and say, "Get out of our neighborhoods. You gonna stop this killing going on right now. Our neighborhoods is not um a killing field for y'all." But I don't think it's gonna happen because too many people afraid of getting shot. Oh, you can't do that. They'll shoot you. They're shooting you regardless. Okay, so they didn't get you today. They got somebody else today. But as long as they there, they're gonna get you sooner or later. They have no regards for life. You could be standing there talking to your neighbor, and next thing you know, they see somebody they don't like, and they start spraying the whole neighborhood. So, so the whole neighborhood will probably have to come out in force and try to get the gangs out of the neighborhood. Cause as far as I know, these gangs don't own no houses in these neighborhoods. Find out who the landlord is. Tell them don't renew their lease. Tell them they have to go. I don't know. I don't know how that goes about. I'm not used to dealing with gangs. I always thought of gangs as individuals that come together as a group. Yeah, I'm not, except for New Jack City, you don't hear of a gangs taking up um, a whole city block or something like that. They rent in this neighborhood here. Somebody in the gang rents in that apartment there, and then somebody in the gang rents into another apartment further down the block or whatever. hmm Yeah. Unfortunately, it doesn't. They don't know how to make a profit off of black on black. Who you gonna sue? Um, you gonna sue the black person who don't have no money? Sue them for their drug money? What? How you gonna sue them? And they just got one guy for right now, and I don't think he's the only one. And he looks like he don't give a care. Oh, I thought she was asking me that question. Did two people get gunned down at a baby shower? There was actually two people that got gunned down at the baby shower. I know there was a a party for a baby, but hey, that's how bad it could get. You can't have any kind of family get together. No baby showers, no birthday parties. You can't even enjoy yourself in the park for a holiday. Easter was all kind of horrible. It seemed like every park in the world had some kind of shootout going on for Easter Sunday. And this is what it's getting to. It was a birthday party. I don't know who the birthday party was for. As far as I could tell, she and the guy that got killed were guests there. I don't know if they came together or they just met there. Seemed like they were just talking. And this guy comes in and starts shooting because he felt his territory was being invaded. Okay, see if I could find it again. Okay, yeah. Okay, here it is. Okay, okay. Oh, this is his uncle at one of the scenes. Um, his niece was a girl, and he was absolutely heartbroken. Okay, and then this happened not too far from a church. Okay, okay, it happened late Saturday in New Jersey. At the time of this particular one, no arrests had been made. Okay, I'm looking for. I want to look for that other one. This is an older one. Okay, where they got one guy. Okay, the girl that got killed, she's a Jamaican girl. She's been in the United States since she was a teen. Mm-hmm. Okay, her name is Asia Hester. Her and the 30-year-old Kevin Elliott were killed. Okay, following the incidents, family and friends of Hester has been plunged into mourning. Describe her as hardworking. She was pursuing a career in nursing. At the time of her death, she was working at the local healthcare facility. Senseless is what it is. I'll never be able to figure out what makes a person blindly squeeze the trigger of a gun and kill people they didn't mean to kill. Anyone with a conscience would never be able to sleep after doing such sick stuff like that. I hope whoever did it never has a decent night's rest again the rest of their lives. Yeah, the report said the violence had been linked to an ongoing turf war. So there was a turf war going on, and this fool thinking people coming for a birthday party um was coming to initiate a turf war. How far gone you gotta be that you can't tell people coming for a birthday party to people finna start a turf war? Yeah. Mhm. So yeah. So from earlier, let's see. All right. So this is the picture of the guy that they have so far for the shooting. That's the shooter, Kevin Darkins. Okay. Now, and this is the 25-year-old who got killed. Let me see. The 30-year-old man. Um, let's see. No, not trying to do that. Um, let's see. I think there's a picture of him somewhere, but I guess because she's 25 and so young. Mm-hmm. That or it's, or maybe she's has more pictures than he did. Okay, let's see. Okay, all right. Let's see if I can find the one where. Okay, all right. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. All right, sorry about that. Um, I kind of accidentally kind of pulled myself out. Okay, let's see. Okay, all right. Let's see. Okay, all right. Give it time to download. Okay, now, of course, you recognize Asia Hester on the left. This is Kevin Elliott, the young guy that got killed with her. I guess he just didn't have that many pictures. That's why you more often will come across her pictures than his. And then it's blurry. But that's Kevin Elliott. Yeah, so that's the guy that got killed with her. Yeah, we just assumed that they were together since they were killed at the same time. Could have been they met up there, started having a conversation, or that they oh shoot. Hello? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. 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 All right. Okay. All right. Bye-bye. Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna take that off of there. Okay. Thanks, Auntie. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So they could have been met up there, had a conversation, and then next thing you know, they both gone. People are running, screaming, hollering, trying to get away from the bullets. People are trying to make their way to the hospital, trying to get the unhurt, trying to get the hurts to the hospital. In fact, police are finding out that more people at the party were in other hospitals. When they came on the scene, they just saw those 12. There was 12 others at another hospital, and they suspected more at even more hospitals. Oh, y'all want me to put the link? Okay. All right. All right. If you want to come on and chat, that's the link um to the chat. Okay. All right. So yeah. So there's been some goings on between gangs in that neighborhood. Okay. At a church across the street from the large home. When they first heard what they thought was fireworks, but it was really gunfire, and heard nine in rapid succession. And this was the pastor over at the Trinity AME Church, which is across the street from where the house was where they were having the party. Okay. All right.
Salute, Dane. Salute, my brother.
Hello, sir.
How you doing, man?
Oh, I am fine. Yes. Uh, so you wish to speak first? You came up on the panel before I did.
Okay, hold on a second. I got this to deal with right here.
She,
Hold on.
yeah, she having an echo.
Yeah, I see. Or I hear.
This was an interesting title, man. I definitely want to cook on this.
Yeah, it is a very interesting title. I'm gonna since she was up first,
All right, sorry about
I'm
that.
gonna
Took
let you
me a
speak
while to
first.
figure out what went wrong.
That's okay. How you doing, Queen?
All right, all right. Okay, so so what had brought you up here that you wanted to discuss?
Okay, but I'm
Sure.
gonna I'm gonna let Polo speak first because he was up here a moment before I did.
Hmm.
And Dame, I wanted you to elaborate on what the title was so I could better understand, just to make sure before I go ahead and give my point of view on things, just to make sure that we all on the same page and I'm speaking about
Okay.
the correct thing.
Okay. The original title and the subject matter was "What's more important, the lives of women and children, or gossip and drama?"
Well, it it's got to be the life of women and children if I'm saying it correctly, because as a king and as a pharaoh and as a leader of your household, especially as an African American man, and leading our melanated women in our families, you're setting the foundation and you're laying the foundation, and you are truly the galvanizer of everything, if that makes any sense. Because okay, like when somebody, Paul, brother Paul, you a man, right? Of course,
Yes, sir.
if if something, if you're not there in your household, um,
Hmm.
guess what? Something, a void is missing. The ship don't run. Yeah, then people might go on with their lives and everything like that. If I'm not there, guess what? A void is missing. So that's why I feel like, in our, from my perspective, you know, the family, is important, and also, making sure that you, keep that family together. See, and before I let brother Paul speak, I want to get this out too, Sister Dane.
Uh-huh.
We've gotten used to this culture. I think I heard Max say this too. I wasn't too sure.
Uh-huh.
We've gotten used to a culture where we used to say, "Damn, all you hear is, oh, that's my baby daddy," or, "Oh man, that's just my baby mom," or, "Oh
Mm-hmm.
no, my baby mama tripping," and stuff like that. No, we don't have, okay, my that's my wife, or, and from a woman, oh, that's my husband. Those are our children.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even say stepchildren. You're supposed to say those are my children. You don't have to sit there and explain, oh well, that's not that's not my biological son, and I'm like, no, that's my son, because I have a daughter that, you know my daughter, even though she's not blood, I still call her my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have biological kids. So basically, not to get off too much of the point, we've gotten so used to that, especially, where we come from in our urban society. We'll sit there and we'll be like, oh yeah, and we'll classify stuff, and it's got, the stereotype we've become used to, and it's sad. No, we need more families, and we need to keep those families together, and we have to stay unified.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Yeah, but sometimes it feels like when you're trying to uh, give information about an event that's happening that involves, the death of women and children, it's being superseded over the gossip and the drama. Nobody seemed to be interested in it because the gossip and the drama that's going on.
It's sad. People, they they yearn for that. They yearn for, a good show. Oh, who getting shot, and who, the drama, and, my baby. Just like, I don't know if you've seen it, Dame, in Houston. I shout out to Willie D. Willie D reported on this. A guy shot a guy on live. Baby drama. Oh, my baby daddy came to. Come on, man, on live, seriously, and you got kids looking at that.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, I close it with that, man. Brother Paul, you can go ahead, man. Much respect to you. Sorry about that, brother.
That's okay. I'm very patient. Okay. Okay, as far as the question, what's more important? I would say, of course, it would be women and children. Um, but it seems that um, the tendency is that people like drama and dragging each other because YouTube, especially specifically Black YouTube, is a good example of that. Look at the numbers that you're drawing. Then look at the numbers that's drawing in on other channels where drama and dragging is daily. The numbers there because I've been over there. I've seen the numbers range from 100 to 300, and in some cases more than that. But on average, I'm saying
Mhm.
it's like 100 to 300 people is there. They like that. They like the drama and the dragging.
Mhm.
Um, but collectively, globally, I would say that we as a people, okay, I put this in as a text in the chat room about an hour ago. I put that we as a people are past the point of no return
Mm.
because what you what your content, what you speak of, um, next year or 5 years from next year, you will still be speaking those things because um, because for me, this is my opinion. I feel that the focus um, should be not trying to change society or our community, but I feel we should be focusing on changing ourselves individually to become what we was created to be. And what I've learned is that what we was created to be was to be good husbands and parents, good wives. Let me rephrase that. Good husbands and good wives and good parents. Um, and not skillful fornicators and home wreckers. Because that's what it seems to be the state of the mind of most, I don't know if I should say most, of black men. Or should I say half 50-50? I'm not sure. I don't know. All I know is what's going on in my household. I want to be the best husband to my wife. I want to be the best parent to my children. What's going on outside of that, for me, is not my concern. And I gave the reason why. I said we are past the point of no return. If you think I'm kidding, then see will there be any kind of shift in the consciousness of black people or even beyond that, other races as well.
Okay. There's just one problem with that.
Yes.
If you just concentrate on just you, um, then nothing's gonna change because eventually your children's gonna grow up and they're gonna be looking for a husband and wives themselves.
Correct.
Now, if you are as an individual making sure that you raise your children well and stuff like that, but you ignore everything else that's going on in your community, who are your children going to find good husbands and wives with?
They're gonna find that among people who think the same way I think. That yeah, they're gonna
No.
find them a good husband. They'll know what's the identifying traits or characteristics of a good husband or a good wife. And if they if and that's where they'll get that from. That's who they'll select.
Okay, but if y'all used to keeping to yourselves, how would they recognize them traits? They ain't been exposed except to you. They ain't gone looking out there. It's not obvious because the person that's like you is like you keeping to themselves.
Well, I learned how to be a good. I learned how to be a good husband um, through I would say several sources. One was my own upbringing, watching how my mother and father related to each other. Um, the second source was reading the scriptures and learning how to become what it is to be a good husband. So and that's where I learned how to become a good husband.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because you look at
Yeah, but
the way.
the
Yes.
scriptures is designed for us to be a community, not individuals in the neighborhood.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that, but I agree with being among those who are like you, because they say birds of a feather flock together. So if there's people in the neighborhood are negative, you won't find me among them. But you will find me among people that are good parents, good husbands. They work, positive minded people who's into positive things. As far as those outside of that, well, this is what's been left out, what I'm going to say next. Or at least I think it's been left out. I haven't been hearing it too much.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, let me put it this way. If you are a landlord and and you own a house that has tenants in it, and the tenants and some of the tenants in the household, I mean in the house, in the building,
Mm-hmm.
are some are good, and then you have those that's not. They're not good. They're noisy. They always have a loud party that at times that when they shouldn't be, when it should be quiet, so that you can have respect for your neighbor, so that they can have a good night's rest and be able to go to work. Or they may be other problems. They may like breaking things and stuff like that. So now what's going to happen eventually, the neighbor may go and speak to the other neighbor about, could they bring it down bring it down a notch. But
Mm-hmm.
let's say they don't listen and they continue to be annoying. So now your next resort is to go to the landlord. Once you go to the landlord, tell them your problem. The landlord will now speak to them. And then if they ignore the landlord, then what happens next comes the eviction. So now let's look at that on a worldwide scale. We're looking at our home, the earth. And who's the owner of the earth? Of course, Satan ruling now, but the creator of the earth, which is temporary, but the creator of the earth is of course God. He's the grand landlord. He sees what's going on the earth with the tenants that live on this earth. And we were supposed to, as you know, in the book of Genesis, we were supposed to take care of the earth along with the animal life and plant everything. We're supposed to take care of it. But over the period of time, several thousand years, we're up to now the modern age, and then now we look at how the earth is now, where
Mm-hmm.
the earth, everything is you got everything is polluted. You got all kinds of pestilences,
Mm-hmm.
just like the most recent one, and that's despite medical advances.
Mm-hmm.
Old and new diseases plague mankind.
Uh-huh.
then you have, okay, along with that, you have in some other parts of the earth where you have um, famines, food shortages. You and don't forget the wars that we be having, like the recent one between Israel and Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I mean, millions of people have been killed in wars during the past century. It's like it's unbroken. It seems like it's like it just continues on and on. Um.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, back to my what I was trying to say. You got good people here on Earth, even though they are the minority. The majority of the inhabitants on Earth are godless, wicked, disobedient to what God has said, to his commands. So so God takes note. He's watching. He's taking note of the people that are good people, righteous people. They're complaining, and so God's going to do something about it. Just like the other example of the human landlord, he's going to get he's going to get rid of the wicked ones who are causing all the problems on the earth. He's going to remove them. Now, if you need it, which this wasn't really like part of the discussion, I don't think, to get too deep into the Bible, so I won't do so.
Mm-hmm.
Where I will back up what I'm saying with specific verses in the Bible. But anyway, um, that's why I said what I said. That I should. I'm going to be concentrating on staying a good husband. The world can do whatever they want to do on the outside. I'll let God take care of that. That's my
Okay, well,
that's my whole
what
view.
if God was meaning for to send you to do something?
Well, you're supposed to be well. What we're supposed to do, if since you said that, is to be be the followers of Christ, to be models like Christ was. And what was his main primary focus? It was to preach about God's kingdom. That
Also, to
was his.
meet people where they were
Yeah.
at and to heal them.
Well, yes, healing. He did heal, but that wasn't his primary objective
No,
because he didn't.
he was to
Yeah.
heal their souls, not just their bodies. Every everyone he dealt with, he didn't just heal their body; he healed their souls.
Well, that's true too. He did do that, and if you want to continue getting healed on an emotional level.
He didn't
Um,
separate himself from the so-called bad people.
no, he didn't. Well, he didn't
He
take
did
part
not
in their
separate
activity.
them,
He didn't take part in their activities,
but
but
he
he
didn't.
went. But he did like. Well, you are right. He did dwell among them only as far as preaching to them about God's kingdom, because to him that was the only solution to societal ills, or even on an individual level. Go ahead.
Hmm.
I thought you
Okay.
had something else.
Well, Manuel Briggs is like individualism is one of the reasons why we're in the situation we're in now. The failures in the community will eventually creep into your home also. When we were segregated, we had a sense of community, and we were better off when we were into when we were integrated individualism was pushed, and now we've seen the end result of not having a sense of community.
Okay. When you say individual, okay, the way you're putting the individualism, we're talking about as far as the way Western society, or even maybe even the world is going into that direction. But which I think is based on do your own thing, but as long as you don't hurt no one else, do whatever you like, say whatever you like, dress however you like. But I'm not talking about that type of individualism. That type of individualism, to me, is demonic in nature. I'm talking about the individualism where where you stay within the confines or borders or boundaries. That's what I mean. Boundaries of God's law. You could be an individual, but within that boundary. That's the type of individuals I'm talking about.
It still sounds more like it's about me and mine, and the heck with everybody else.
Well, what are
But
you? Okay,
hey, but
okay,
hey,
okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
okay, there's something that I wanted to see, but first I gotta do this. All right, this channel may contain content not authorized for use by its owner. Ah, shit. By its owner. However, according to Section 107 of the Copyright Act of the United States, the fair use of the copyrighted work for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research is a non-infringement of copyright. Okay, let me share this. All right. All right. All right. We're gonna listen to this. Um,
Right now, go grab a bottle of Miracle Food, suitable for all ages, the perfect cleanse and reboot, and it promotes a healthy immune system. Created by some of the most powerful superfoods on the planet, Miracle Food in this day and age is perfect for you. Don't wait. ChakraDoctor.org. Go grab your bottle of Miracle Food right now. Let them know Viral Hip Hop News sent you. Let's go. What up, what up, what up? It's your man Sam. And here at Viral Hip Hop News, go ahead and hit that like button, smash that notification bell. Shout out to our sponsors, I Skate New York. Get your crown today. That link will be up throughout this video. And of course, the good Chakra Doctor and the people over at Miracle Food. Grab your Miracle Food right now. Let's get to the content. All right, man. So Kwame Brown, for those of you who don't know, was a former basketball player, played 12 seasons throughout the NBA, was the first overall pick back in 2001 by the Washington Wizards, straight out of high school. This brother had a very promising career, very promising future. Did not pan out the way people would have liked. I'm sure he would have liked to pan out even better throughout his career and throughout his time. Different various sport outlets, sports media, and people have made him the butt of a lot of jokes, saying that he was one of the most overrated players of all time, a bust. We all heard the story, and we have not heard anything out of Kwame Brown's mouth in regards to any of the jokes, any of the making fun of or the mockery. Been fairly quiet. Kwame Brown decided to break his silence once his name was brought up on All the Smoke podcast with Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson. They had on Gilbert Arenas and Jeannie Buss, the owner of the Lakers, and his name was brought up again, which forced him or caused him to go all the way in. I'm going to play a video on why I have Charlamagne the God sitting here as opposed to Matt Barnes, as opposed to Steven Jackson, as opposed to Stephen A. Smith or Chris Bouchard, many other names that Kwame Brown will forget about right now, because he has some very choice words to say about Charlamagne the God. For this reason right here, his name is brought up on the Breakfast Club. Play a little clip of that, then we'll get Kwame Brown's response. Be patient. It is kind of lengthy. Wait to the back end of this video to hear my thoughts on this entire thing. Let's go.
With the All the Smoke podcast, and during Gilbert Arenas' recent appearance, he spoke about his former Washington Wizards teammate and I guess that ruffled some feathers from Kwame Brown. And here is, and I guess it all happened in an episode with Jeannie Buss on it as well. Jeannie Buss and Gilbert Arenas were on All the Smoke, and they started talking about Kwame Brown. Here's what happened.
Well, we traded Mark
Mark,
Gasol,
yeah, that's what people,
right?
oh, you got him for nothing, not
Right.
realizing that what you guys gave him was Mark Gasol.
And Kwame Brown. And so,
Mark Gasol.
and
that was a one-man trade.
He could have been. Imagine being an 18-year-old kid getting drafted #1 by your idol, Michael Jordan. We know Michael Jordan's personality. Imagine that personality
slapped him in the face
going towards a 18-year-old kid. So when you're making him look little to his peers, he loses his confidence. So when I get there, he doesn't have confidence. You know what I mean? So it's trying to build this man child up.
All the Smoke is one of my favorite podcasts. Those 2 episodes were phenomenal. The Jeannie Buss and Gilbert Arenas episode.
All right. Well, Kwame Brown, I guess, is tired of people picking on him and being the butt of jokes from being a #1 pick. And, you know, he just, I guess, got fed up and responded to the podcast.
I think you guys need to focus and channel that energy on some more real problems, like the way we are as Black males and the way that we look. And Steven Jackson, maybe you could put that motherfucking blunt out and pull your pants up on your ass and put that rag down and act like a grown-ass man instead of a little-ass boy. Gilbert, I was quiet on you for years. I wasn't going to say nothing. You the right-hand arm of them white boys. What did I get? 3 years, 25 with the Lakers? I was slotted to get 80. You took millions out my mouth and you shout like you love Black folks. Becky with the good hair, you need counseling, boy. All that goddamn rage for no reason. She chose.
Damn, why call Becky with the good hair?
Let me say something, man. I need a second, man. First of all, y'all know Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. Those are my partners. You can catch All the Smoke podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network. I was texting with Matt last night, but let me tell y'all something. Leave Kwame Brown alone. I don't know if y'all know, but you could do a little research. Kwame Brown was born in Charleston, South Carolina. I don't think I've ever met Kwame, but I know a lot of his family. His family lived in Mounts Corner, South Carolina. His father's name was Willie Brown. I don't know how many kids Willie Brown had. I don't know how many siblings Kwame Brown got, but I went to school with his sister, and I went to school with one of his brothers. Let me tell y'all something. Kwame's father in the 90s, I remember this story. He beat a woman with an axe handle. It was his girlfriend. And the rumor was he buried her alive. He buried her in the area that I grew up in, if I remember correctly. I've been trying to call my dad since yesterday to confirm the whole story because I literally forgot about this until yesterday. But the woman died and he got arrested. If he's still alive, he's in prison for life because he got caught because he left South Carolina after the murder and came back for his paycheck. Let me tell you something else. His other brother, I don't know if him and Kwame were close, but his other brother shot his baby mama several times and then killed himself. That was like in 2008. And his other brother, Kwame's other brother, just went to jail for murder like 3 years ago. All of this you can Google. I'm saying all that to say, leave Kwame alone. That man has been quiet for 20 years. He don't bother nobody. Clearly all that, you know, all that he's a bust stuff gets to him. And you don't know what people are going through or have been through. But I've seen folks snap for less. And it looks like, you know, Kwame is snapping. And if you look at the history of men in his family, you would know his men in his family have a history of snapping. Leave Kwame Brown alone.
Now, you niggas said we were joking. And I told you niggas, don't fuck up with me. And I also done told you now, since you done made my family look like killers, me and you ain't never done ran in each other. Make sure you keep that shit the same way. Don't you run into me. Cause like I told you, I know what you niggas trying to do. As my brother would say, you trying to get a nigga in that do-low twist. So, if I see you, I'm gonna run across the street, boy. I'm literally gonna run from you. Because the perception that you just put out there, bitch, you motherfucking punk. And Angela Yee, shame on you acting like you like women and you in there with a violator every damn day. You and that little light-skinned glow stick, fake-ass pandering nigga, you. How the hell you gonna let them say that on your show, nigga? You ain't never speak up for a man your whole life, DJ Envy. You a sad soul. If your wife leave you, you will be crying every day, lost. Talking about you a damn king. You a fucking punk. Man, Bill Gates, what's up, real nigga? Nigga cheated like a man, punk. Fuck wrong with you. You need to go to Bill Gates man school. If you gonna do something, punk, that's how you do it. Don't nobody say nothing. Have your money right. You give her, hey, okay, yeah. You give her, okay, oh, yeah. Yeah, you do it like a man, you punk, you sloppy punk. And then you up there tricking these kids like you smart, punk. Your real life ain't smart. Shut your motherfucking mouth. Always got you type of niggas talking. And Charlemagne, shame on you, boy. You were supposed to go to jail. You were supposed to go to jail. I don't know what you doing, boy, to stay out. Hey, boy, look at me when I'm talking to you. I don't know what the fuck you doing to stay out and keep that motherfucking job. But boy, you must be good at what you doing, boy. But I can see the little trends and tricks you doing, trying to bring people in. Donnell Rawlings should have knocked your motherfucking ass out because that was sexual assault, sir. You threw that bunkie at that man. And all you talk about is little sweet stuff now. You and DJ Envy flirting and shit on the show now. I'm tired of hearing that shit, nigga. Trying to show these kids that men can flirt and shit. The fuck is wrong with you? Now, don't make me pull my motherfucking glasses down again. Stupid motherfucker. You niggas ain't never been around no man. The fuck wrong with you? I should have been talking to you, stupid motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here. You niggas ain't never heard that before, y'all like. God damn, y'all been playing video games too much. You got a nigga like Charlemagne. Who the hell would call themselves some vain shit like Charlemagne the God? Is that what you were thinking in your head when you were violating our black sister, you punk? Why are you black women that's friends with this nigga? I'ma see y'all in pictures and shit, and y'all next. I'ma roast all y'all at. How the hell y'all go? I told y'all this is the go along, get along gang. They got pics. This nigga is on TV every day. And all y'all women that's cool with this nigga and all y'all women that watch this show, you must every day there's a woman out there that know what happened to her. And y'all acting like y'all like women and y'all turn y'all goddamn head. All right, come to the front. Damn shame. Y'all got pics. Say, get him fired then. Act like you don't got no pics and put his ass with the same justice that everybody else got. He shouldn't be on nobody's show. He's a violator. Put a man on TV, kick DJ Envy in the ass and let him go in there and plant a garden with his goddamn wife with a leash around his fucking neck and let a man get up there and talk on the goddamn radio. It don't got to be me. There's somebody with experience that's a man that can give these kids some different perspective than a groveling punk. I don't even like how soft you talk. And I don't know. Slow down when you talk so we can understand what the fuck you saying. Niggas crazy. This is what we showing our kids and wondering why we all fucked up. Oh, he's mad. He cursed. Oh, shit. This motherfucker masculine. Oh, he toxic. Somebody kicking your door. You go get a motherfucker like me. Which one is it, motherfucker? When can I be me? When you want me to be? Shit, I ain't no motherfucking bodyguard. I'm this shit all the time. Fuck wrong with these motherfuckers. Niggas trying to get on TV. Y'all, these got to be. We can show how uneducated our sector is. These stupid son of bitches that's on TV every day can't even argue with a nigga they been calling a bus and a nigga that don't even got a motherfucking college degree. They can't even talk to me with enough respect to challenge any of the points that I said. The only thing they've been doing is exactly what I said they was going to do. Y'all motherfuckers should unsubscribe. Everybody should unsubscribe until they start talking with some respect to a black man. I told y'all what they do. They get paid to talk that motherfucking shit about black people. Who told you Kanye West was crazy? Them punk motherfuckers. A man with $6 billion is crazy. No, you ain't gonna like everything he say, motherfucker. You wouldn't like everything Albert Einstein said, but he is known as a great man. But you want Kanye to die as a crazy motherfucker. So all they do is disrespect our black men. Name how many times they drag Bill Gates for having a side piece. I ain't heard nothing yet. But they was chasing MJ around locker rooms trying to see what girls he was with. Motherfuckers don't understand what they doing. It's imagery. They controlling the mind with images. First thing they start telling you is I'm mad, I'm angry, I'm crazy, I'm right along with these people who murdered people, this and that. They don't even know if I was around these people. It's called learned behavior. My father did that so early. I wasn't around my father up until I was like 5 years old. So I had a bunch of loving from my mama, you punk bitch. Did you even ask me that, Charlamagne, before you said something stupid? And you supposed to be a nigga from Monk's Corner? Nigga, you ain't gonna never be able to go back to Monk's Corner. I liked you better when you had that fucking patch on your face, bitch. Fuck wrong with you. They done bleach your motherfucking skin and bleached your mind, boy. You think you somebody, don't you? Because you got away with that violation of that black woman and you getting support from black women. Because if black women really cared about women, they'll kick you in the ass today because they can do it. If black women care about black women and they get on Twitter, they can kick you in your ass today. And that's why black women can't grow and learn anything because of pandering little bitches like you that done did some foul ass shit like you did. So now you can't be objective. You just gotta be a punk ass half a shell of a man. So now kids don't see what a man look like. And then you come up with punk ass words like toxic because nobody's not like you. No, I'm not a violator, you punk. And yeah, a man is objective. We give correction, you punk. Fuck is you talking about? Y'all should have shut y'all goddamn boy.
Ooh, damn, he was throwing rocks there. Now, the woman that he's speaking about, as far as Charlamagne the God violating, is young, or she's not young anymore, but at the time she was young. Jessica Reed, a young woman who was 15 years old during a time where she was drugged at a party that Charlamagne the God was hosting. We actually talked about this on the podcast years and years ago and took a lot of heat for it because at the time you see a lot of people railroading black men. I ain't even gonna put or sugarcoat it and putting them under some crazy allegations. Now, some allegations obviously were true because not all black men are innocent, and some were absolute nonsense because not all black men are guilty. We were just trying to make sure we had every piece of evidence out there before we went and just said this person's guilty or this person's innocent. We took a lot of flack for that. A lot of people said, oh, we worked for Charlamagne, we did this, we did that, and the third. If you guys notice now, it's clear nobody works for Charlamagne over here at Viral Hip Hop News or the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. But all that being said, Kwame Brown is from South Carolina. Kwame Brown has family from South Carolina. Charlamagne the God got on these airwaves and put out Kwame Brown's business, his family. Not that it's not anything we couldn't look up, but he painted a picture as though Kwame Brown was the same monster he tried to paint his family members to be, which is just plain and straight out wrong. You create a narrative on one of the biggest hip hop platforms period in the world. You know how divisive that can be. I have no problem with Kwame Brown going at his throat, saying the things he said in response to the things that was said about him, man. Y'all leave a comment in the comment section, man. And if you want to see the entire video in its entirety, Kwame Brown going in, it'll be in his YouTube page. I have that link in the description box so you guys can check out that video in its entirety if you so choose. But man, this is crazy, man. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think right now. Appreciate each and every one of y'all who support and stuck around for the end of this video, man. Sam Ant, Viral Hip Hop News, checking out. Peace.
What's good, man? This is Sam Ant, CEO of Viral Hip Hop News. Listen, I appreciate each and every one of y'all who are going to check out this documentary. Shout out to my man Lonnie Fresh. Do me a favor, go to YouTube right now, go subscribe to
All right, could y'all hear him pretty well? Oh, okay, Bricks, yeah, continue on with the talking. Okay. Sounds like you're talking about adhering to your faith, which is common, whatever religious documentation shows. Okay. So Charlemagne put out that his family, this guy's family are killers. And made it like he's also like his family. Um, is to me it seems like, hey, just because you're from there and you may have went to school with one or two this person family member, don't mean you know what's going on with their family. Because nobody can know what's going on in the family except for in the family. Like, he didn't ask him, was he even raised with his father? And even Brown said, hey, he was raised by a loving mother. He didn't meet his father till he was like 5 years old. So he was nurtured with a lot of love. And it sounds like Charlemagne ain't gonna never be able to go back because he put a target on himself um, by supposedly airing these people's business, and not even certain whether that man even went to jail for that or not. He even said when he did the playback that Charlemagne said he'd been trying to get in contact with his father to find out for certain, but yeah, he just go and air out this business. He didn't even get verification from his own father. Was this the reason why the man was in jail, or was that just some rumor that people made up in their mind? And because he went to jail, could have went to jail for who knows what reasons. And the street comes in the home. The young girls suck up all that negative energy, more division in household. Yeah, because think about this. Okay, this birthday party was 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 done. Nice house. The people were all good people. They come to celebrate somebody's birthday and to have fun. This outside element came in, got it in their head that this was somebody trying to steal territory and shoot up place. Kill two people, hurt a whole bunch of others, could care less. That outside element came in. You cannot be able to segregate yourself from your community and expect the community, whatever negative elements out in the community, is not going to come and invade your individual little area. You keep saying that you get with minded people, but if y'all all keep doing y'all individual thing, keeping to yourselves instead of working together to making the community better, you're not doing anything. And you're not going to be shown your people, your children are not going to be exposed to other like-minded people. You're thinking, okay, I gave an example of my daughters of what a good husband and father looks like. I gave my sons good example of what to be a good um father and husband. But if you kept to yourself and other like-minded people like you also kept to themselves, when did they get exposed to these other people? If you by yourself over here, they by themselves over there, they by themselves down this way, instead of y'all coming together, you over here, you over there, you over there, and work together to make sure your community is a safe place for everybody, not just you, the individual. Okay, so you say, okay, I'm going to move. This community is bad. I'm going to move to another one. Okay, so you're starting all over again, but you have the same mentality. I'm going to keep to myself. I'm going to just be a good husband and father and stuff like that. That was that community over there. They had some bad elements in the community. Or do you think bad elements stay in one spot? You think there's no bad elements in any community? There's always some bad elements. But if you get like minded individuals and y'all work together, y'all can change, get rid of the bad elements out of the community. Whether
Okay.
it's y'all come and give them religious every day.
Okay. You okay, what you're saying now, you are addressing me with that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since you are, um, I'm not okay. My viewpoint that I do give is more the is more like a godly viewpoint rather than a worldly viewpoint
Mm-hmm.
or a secular viewpoint.
Okay.
Because I know in the scriptures it says things like we are in the world, but we're not part of it. No, we don't. We're not. We don't want to be part of. We don't want to be part of the world. We want to be separate from the world. We want to. What's unclean? We don't want to be part of that. Um, and okay. I do remember that in Second Timothy, it speaks of. It speaks specifically of the people in this time period we're living in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 5. It'll tell you the type of people that are living today on this planet,
Mm-hmm.
where it says that in the last days, so it's telling you specifically the time period. It starts off that way. It says in the last days, critical times hard to deal with will be here. And then it tells you, not only does it make that statement, it tells you why the times will be hard to deal with. Because then they tell you that there will be people, and I know you probably heard, if you know the scriptures, you've heard this one before, where people would be, and you could, all right, let me just say it, that people would be lovers of themselves,
Mm-hmm.
lovers of money, disobedient to their parents,
Mm-hmm.
disloyal, having no natural affection, without self control, that they would be fierce, that they would be lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God. And in conclusion, it says that they will have a form of godly devotion, but proving false to its power.
Mm-hmm.
And then look at the last part of that scripture. Let me go to it. I was going by memory, but there's something in the last sentence after it describes these type of people. It says, let me get to it. 2 Timothy. Okay, the first is, here's second. Okay, it says, 3, 1 through 5. Oh, and then it says, and from these turn away. These type of people turn away from them. Why? Because you don't want to, because of you, you're in opposition to them. They're in opposition to you as far as wanting to be a godly man or woman. They don't mix. They don't mix. So, okay. So now, that's why I was saying what I was saying. Because I'm not saying that. Okay. Because what I understand you're coming from is that we, as a black nation, can make changes through our efforts, through human effort. I don't see that happening. We've been trying to make changes uh, forever. We've been trying to make changes, and we've been trying to make. And most people, that's why people vote. That's why they turn to political leaders that they feel that they can trust that will bring about changes. The only thing wrong with that is that who are these? Who are the politicians? They are people who actually is on the same level you are, or we are, I should say, that we are. That is being imperfect. And so being imperfect, you cannot bring permanent solutions if you are imperfect. You can't bring about permanent solutions, only temporary solutions. That's where God steps in. That's where he comes into the picture, which I don't hear about. But what I'm saying is that efforts to make changes in our community is futile. It's futile based on all the things that I've said. And if you look at it, I'm giving you the whole picture, the full view picture. That, as noble as that sounds, to want to try to make changes, it's futile. It's not. We're not going to be able to bring about what it is that we're trying to bring about. It's out of our hands. We don't have that kind of power, because people's nature. They're human. That's what the whole thing is. Their nature. It's this. It even, even including white supremacy. I said, why are these people this way? Why is their history is filled with leaving their country to go to somebody else's country to get people to be slaves, because while you just pile up, you just collect the profits off their labor, and then you mistreat them and cruel to them along with that. And I say, and I thought about it, and I said, it's their nature. And it's just like a cat. Think about the first cat that was created way back in Genesis. That cat, look at that. If you was to bring that cat, the cat that, okay, the cat that lives, the cat that lives hello?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh,
go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, the cat that was created back in Genesis acts the same way as a cat today in the 21st century. Why? It's their nature to act as a cat and not like any other animal but a cat. So I was wondering, I said, why is it that these white people, not all, but I would say, in my opinion, the majority, are born, or maybe not born with a racist nature. No, I can't. No, I don't know if that would be true. They had to be taught, I believe, to be the way they are. It's either that, or they're born with that sense of superiority. So unless the nature is changed, there can't be a change. But the thing is, people don't want to change. They don't want it. They like it the way it is because they're selfish. They're into what we want. This is what we want. I don't want to be tied down with a woman. I want to have many women. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear what you're trying to say, but that means to me it sounds like you're giving up. God worked through people all the time. Um and it could be you don't know for certain or not if he's meant to use you to get to these people or not. You can't be so separate from the people that you're no good to nobody.
Okay. First of all, actions do speak louder than words. So I'm seen as someone that minds his business, lives a quiet life. He don't bother nobody. So and then as far as society is concerned, they could look at me as being a good citizen. As far as I never broke the law where I had to be arrested. I have a clean record. Because it's not how you start off in life, it's how you end. It's about your reputation. What kind of reputation when you breathe your last breath? What will be your reputation in the eyes of man and God? That's what's important. As far as teaching them anything, I do have a on WhatsApp. I am a Bible instructor on WhatsApp, and I do have between 10 to 20 students that I feel I'm obligated to teach them the scriptures. And I charge absolutely nothing. And the reason I charge nothing is because my role model I follow the way Jesus taught. Jesus charged nothing, so I charge nothing. Yeah, so I reach people that way. But as far as trying to change neighborhoods, or no, I'm not. And I don't know what means are we talking about? Are we talking about demonstrations, or what else? Demonstrations and whatever method that people be using to bring about a change, which is good, but
protesting, patrolling.
Yeah. That's protesting, right? Protesting, which can, I was gonna say it. Well, protesting can get you being to where you don't want to be, like either in jail or laying on a stretcher because a policeman done cracked your skull open. But
What? No neighborhood watch? Take back your neighborhood?
Well, if people, I'm not going to post something that's the intent is for good. I won't oppose it. I think it's a good idea, but in order for that to work beyond my neighborhood, it would have to take place in every neighborhood in the entire state and then beyond for that to work.
Okay.
So, Paul, you are a Bible instructor?
Yes, sir.
Hey, that's fantastic. Listen, man, I'm going to be launching a show later on this year called the G Light, and it's a Christian spiritual based show. Man, I'd love to have you on there. You know, talking scripture, and you know, because we are believers in the Word. Okay, so you know, it's going to be a Christian based spiritual show. So it's called the G Light. We'll be launching it sometime. Yeah, God's Light.
Yeah, I'm going to write. I'm going to write that down as a reminder.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
Right. And yeah, man, you know, and we're trying to gather some Christian brothers that'll come up and speak, you know, so love to have you up there, you know, when we launch the show.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
Oh, and when do you think this will happen?
We're going to be launching it sometime towards the end of the year. And it's going to be for a couple of months. It's probably going to be going towards September when we launch it. Because we got other things that we're caught up in right now. We're trying to get some other shows straightened out.
That sounds great. And do you have your own channel now?
Yeah, you're on it.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you actually was a guest.
No, this is my network. The Ebony Star Network is me and my partner Dane. We created this network.
Yeah, I have a show, Conversation with Lady Dane, but that's part of the Ebony Star Network.
Okay. I because you know there are good content creators, good positive content. A person just has to find it. They can't. You know, a lot of people are like stuck in just one sector or one aspect of the Black experience, and like it seems like the majority of them congregate in that sector. They call it the B sector. I forget what the B stands for. I know it has something.
The B1?
Not B1. No, not B1. Not B1. It's the one where there's a lot of drama, a lot of dragging of people.
Dang, I forgot what it's called. I usually avoid them as much as possible. Yeah.
But they yes, go ahead.
Yeah, they exclusively gossip, drama.
Yeah. That's right. Gossip. That's correct. I think. Well, okay. So you stay away from there.
Yeah. Well, what it was, I was following a lady who turned out to be part of that sector. When she's talking about cooking and stuff like that, okay, so she likes to dress sexy. That's her thing. But when she's cooking and she's talking about cooking, it's great. I especially like watching her with her granddaughter, and they be cooking and stuff like that. It'd be great. But when she gets with that sector and they gossiping and they're going in on somebody, it lose me. I've unsubscribed and resubscribed. I just gave up entirely, you know, and took it off completely because I never know when she's gonna be cooking again. So she was more. They call it the beef sector.
Yeah, they call it the B, and that B stands for something. I can't think of what it is.
It stands for fighting.
It has to do with fighting. Yeah, it has to do with fighting. That's right.
They're purposely dragging each other, you know.
Yes. And now, I don't know if it has reached your ears yet, but now the talk of the town is this female that came on the scene in a very shocking manner. I don't know if you heard about her, where she comes on dressed in her bra and her panties.
Sounds like the same lady I was talking about.
But this one don't cook. I didn't know there was another one. This one don't cook.
She don't? Oh,
No.
wait. Is she light skinned or dark skinned?
Dark. She's dark
Oh,
skin.
wait. I hope it's not who they. I hope they're not talking about Olivia.
No. You talking about Liberty Oracle? No. I'm familiar
Oh,
with
this
her.
must be a new one I don't know about.
Yeah. This one, I don't know. You want me to mention her name?
No.
Okay, I won't mention her name. Maybe some people know in the chat, but yeah. This woman, I know. Oh man, I was shocked when I first went to her channel to see what was about. To see her sitting there in her bra and in her panties as well, and she drinks liquor straight from the bottle throughout the entire stream, as well as smoke weed one after another. Anyway, I won't say no more. But there are good content creators. Like Jesus said, seek and you will find. That's what you have to do. You have to seek and look for good channels, such as yourself. Can I mention the ones that are positive?
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Okay, like you ever heard of a young lady? She's like she's under 25. She's between 20 and 25, and her name is Kanisha Taught You. That's the name of her channel. Kanisha Taught You. Now she's about Black empowerment. That's a good one. Another good one, in my opinion, is Mocha's Cafe de Paris. Okay, I thought that rang a bell. That didn't ring no bell.
It sounds familiar, but I keep wondering.
It's good.
If it's the this black-owned coffee bar, and they have like a community come together and have all kind of discussions and talks and poetry thing, and you know.
Okay, well, yes. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I keep wondering if that's that same one.
It's a woman, and she don't drag men or women. She gives them equal. If they're good or bad. It doesn't matter if they're male or female. It's not dragging. It's education. It's about relationships and empowerment. That's a good one. How about the Lockhart perspective? You don't know that one either?
I don't know that one.
Oh, that's a good one. The Lockhart perspective. Irene Vet.
Okay, I know about Irene.
Okay. I thought maybe I would hit on one of them that you would know about. Yeah, Irene Vet is good. She's very educational, talks about Black issues. And there's one more, I'll mention one more, and that would be the name of a channel called Queen Ma'at Girl TV.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, Queen
Yeah.
Ma'at.
Yeah, I like Queen Ma'at. She's definitely about Black empowerment, that's for sure. Almost like she would be like a female Black Panther from the 1960s. I wouldn't compare her with today's Black Panthers because they're not like the ones back, the original ones. that who was really about change, and even if it took force, the ones today they kind of I don't when
They're
things be
not quite into forcibly making a change.
yeah. Actually, I don't even hear too much of them anyway.
I didn't even think there was any modern Black Panthers.
Yeah, they call themselves the new Black Panther Party. Yeah, but they. Yeah. And I was wondering why these people like. Why come I don't see these people that's kind of revolutionary, like Farrakhan, Nation of Islam. When the white supremacist groups are down there having their rallies and stuff, where are they? Where is the Nation of Islam? Where are they not on the other side opposing them and protecting the black people? I don't know why.
The Nation of Islam is not what it used to be.
Okay.
Hmm.
Especially after Malcolm X, right?
Um, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I like that. Now, I that's that. He's one of the men I admire. I admire Malcolm X. As far as the other one, not so much. I don't have too much respect for the other one, Martha Luther. I have my reasons for that, but Malcolm X, yes, I admire.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They didn't realize how much of a driving force Malcolm was for the Nation of Islam, and they thought they didn't need him, and then he was
Well,
eliminated.
yes, yes, and as from my understanding, uh, that decision was his removal. That decision was something that was favorable to Farrakhan.
Nah, if you read the book, that was more favorable to the creator of the Nation of Islam.
Um, I'm gonna differ with you on that. I'm
Hmm.
gonna differ with you on Farrakhan's role, not actually pulling the trigger, but his thoughts, his feelings toward Malcolm X. But anyway, since we'll just leave it at that,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
'Cause- yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, so now I will say this. As far as since we like have different approaches
Hmm.
to the making change, um,
I
I
see.
my,
Okay,
my
I
yes,
understand keeping yourself separated from the bad elements to keep yourself from being contaminated. But there's going to
yes,
be moments when you're going to have to go into the contaminated elements to do what you're supposed to do. It's
that's
either to
true.
talk to people, you know, give them the word of God, and try to get them to make the changes that they need in their life, that they need to turn to God, that this
Yes,
that this path that they're on now is leading to their death, and not just death for the body but death for their soul.
yes, I I agree with you on that.
Mhm.
Absolutely agree with you on that.
Yeah, and we've
Yeah,
seen too many stuff that could have been prevented it if somebody would have been willing to do even the minimum, That's why I still get so mad about that girl getting killed, shot 4 times by a cop.
Okay.
When it was just an argument. A neighbor came home. If he just said something, hey girls, stop calling each other those awful names. Y'all are young ladies, y'all are not these names. What's going on? Why are y'all calling each other this? It may or may not have done anything. They might have cursed him out or something like that. Or they might have just said, these girls keep messing with me. They don't want to leave me alone. I'm 16-year-old and these are grown women and they trying to fight me. Or they could have, told you to mind your told the man mind his business. But he didn't even try. He's like, oh, well, they fighting. And he went in the house. He took his dog outside in the yard. It got louder. He brought the dog back in and came in because it's too loud out there. Knowing that just a little earlier they were fighting with just words, but now it's got louder. Goes in the house, still don't mention nothing to nobody. He waits till gunfire is in shoe. Then he wants to go find out what happened.
Yeah.
The father. He's so intent on getting at another woman that he didn't protect his own daughter. He saw the police was there. He should have grabbed his daughter, grab his daughter, make sure I got this. You don't need to fire anything. Just grab her by the hand and yank her back, and hold your daughter down if necessary. Calm her down. Look, the police are here. They got this. Calm down. Another neighbor. He saw it all going down.
I see.
And he said he could tell what happened. But did he attempt to stop it? Girls, anything. No. But, all of the mindset of, that's them, that's not me. That's not me and mine's. I taught mine's better. Go in.
But it was his, wasn't it? But it
Well,
was his. His daughter was out.
the first guy, the neighbor, he had just got off of work. He heard the girls arguing, calling each other the B word. He didn't even attempt to talk to the girls. He didn't say, hey, girls, y'all young ladies, y'all not the B word. As I said, what's going on? Why y'all calling each other names like that? He didn't do that. He just went, oh, they fight it, and just went in the house. That's the neighbor.
Okay.
The father, he's too busy trying to kick the other girl in the head instead of snatching his daughter, who has a knife in her hand, and the police is right there.
Okay.
Just because she's a child, police officers do not see our children that way. If he had been more intent on grabbing his daughter, she'd probably still be here.
Oh, I see.
Forget that girl that's on the ground. I don't care how mad you at her for going at your daughter. You protect your daughter. Police are there.
Absolutely.
They tend to shoot first, ask question later. As her father, you should have been the first one to grab her and pull her towards you, hold her down, whatever. The police are here. Get it through her angry mind. The police are here. I got you. He wasn't there. He was too intent on kicking somebody in the back of the head. Neighbor, second neighbor. He said he seen the entire thing. He can tell the police what happened. But he didn't do anything. He didn't attempt to try to snatch the girl neither. He could have grabbed the knife from behind the girl.
He could have.
He could have been the in between the girl with the knife and the grown woman without the knife. Nobody. Everybody was minding their own business. I'm looking after me and mine. They're not my people. So, it just kind of pissed me off when people are saying, oh, that was not my people. Those are not my neighbors. That's somebody else's problem. I look after me and mine. Not thinking or care less that the rest of the community, the rest of the neighborhood is yours too. While it was still in the yelling and screaming stage, some of that stuff could have been redirected. Could have got them calm. Sometimes some person just wants to be heard by kids wants to be heard by an adult that's going to take responsibility, especially if they're being attacked by an adult. So you, as a man in the neighborhood, if you say, girls, why y'all talking to each other? Why y'all calling each other these things? Y'all young ladies, tell me what's going on. As I said, you might not get, you might, either the girls gonna turn around and start telling you these girls are messing with me. These are grown ass women. They messing with me and my sister. Try calling the police. I'm waiting for my father and my grandmother. Whatever. So far, the father and the grandmother weren't there at the time the neighbor came from work. He could have stayed there, kept things calm until I said, okay, y'all gonna go to y'all separate corners and you're going to go ahead and talk to me. We're going to wait till the police get here. Or if your grandmother's on the way, we'll wait till she gets here. Or they could say, it's none of your business, old man. You need to mind yours. At least you tried something. I guess I'm too used to it. Like Max, I grew up that when they hear us women getting arguing, especially we calling each other these ugly names like the B word and stuff like that, the men in the community be like, hey, young ladies, y'all are not those names. Why y'all calling each other that? What's happening? And whether we respect them or not, how we respond. We respect them. We like, okay, she keeps coming at me, trying to attack me, and they start talking and stuff like that. And they want to tell their side of the story. If it's somebody we don't respect or we feel like they got some kind of creepy ulterior motive, nothing. We just mad. I'm mad at her and stuff like that. And they try to get you to move along, leave us alone. I've seen that. And depending on how well, if you isolate yourself from the rest of your community, you don't know who to call. You don't know who to get involved. How much of it you can get the police involved or not. The family members. I grew up where they kind of knew who we are. They knew our families and stuff like that. If we got to the point where we was about to get into a fist fight, they would separate us. They would call out for several people in the community or several men if enough of them are off or are there and say, hey, help me corral these girls. They getting into it. I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen with young girls. I've seen it happen with grown women where men had to run interference.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, help me separate these women.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Even a case where the women turned on the guy, he still was able to call out to other men in the community, hey, help me keep these women separated from each other. I'm just one guy by myself. Don't just look and laugh. Come help me, Negro. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But
I, it's
but
okay. I understand you.
and as time go by, you're seeing less and less. These men who were that much part of the community and who did these things, and and found some way to bring peace and solve problems, they gone. The last one, he died. Couple of who about 4 months ago, and I felt like ever since he been gone, more I've always been aware that we was losing our men who were community minded like that, and there's not another generation replacing them. There's
Right.
too many of them of the I'm taking care of mines. Luckily there's nothing like a storm that'll pull to give you some kind of hope. But each generation there's several more that's gone,
Yes.
or they can only do within their blocks, their block here, their block there. When the community used to be stretched out, I guess you could say several city blocks. Now it's like from from these three city blocks are mines. These blocks, these streets here are mines. I'm able to watch out for the kids and the people in this block. And then the next 3 or 4 blocks over, there's another man here or there that's watching out for that community in that block. But then there's sectors of the black community where there don't seem to be any man um, who watches over that block, that neighborhood, try to keep the community at peace, keep the kids under control, the bad elements under control, try to find too many idle hands, find them stuff to do. We got too many young guys that after they graduate high school, they don't know what to do after that, and they got too many idle hands, and they're getting into other things that's gonna get them killed or get them in prison.
Yeah. The ones that graduated and have idle hands will gravitate toward those who also graduated and uh, have idle hands, and then they start thinking, that you have to live, you have to exist, you have to feed yourself, clothes, whatever, and but not having a respectable job, or even having a respectable job, but you feel you're not. This ain't enough. I'm not making enough. Um, Not being satisfied with making enough, but your love for money, you want what you see on hip hop or videos, whatever. I don't know, but you're gonna gravitate toward those that's like minded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know there was several of them was trying to get them into to Job Corps, because they weren't really feeling like the military. Although
Mm-hmm.
there's a few of the old school that was like, forget it, go anyhow. But we figured the Job Corps was the closest thing, so they can learn a trade, learn some skills, get employment.
Well,
In the meantime, they learning some stuff. They're away
yes,
from the elements at home and
yes.
shooks.
That's
Before they can even
mhm.
get to the recruiting section, they already got themselves caught up, and next thing you know, they got a drug
Oh,
charge on them. Ah,
right. I see.
It's like, what the
Yeah.
hell? You couldn't go without for a few months to pass a drug test, you know,
Hmm.
and now you got a drug charge on you. You got to go through parole, and you still hear where the idle elements are. It's trying to get them away from our little town so that they can, kind of get the startings of a life, see new things, try new things, do new things, uh, get away from the idle elements in the town.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So now, what I will say to you, where are you? Are you on the East Coast?
No, I live down south. I live
Oh,
in Louisiana.
okay. And what time? I don't know. You have you have Eastern Standard Time over there. What time?
Central Standard Time.
Central. So what time is it over there?
It is 7:41.
Oh, okay. The hour difference. So I'm in New York, so it's 8:41, and
I
I
think
will
we,
be.
I
Mhm.
think we should wrap it up because hey,
Yeah. I do got things I have to do.
all right
Yes.
then. It was nice
Hmm.
talking to you, Paul.
Oh, thank you. And it
Hmm.
was also nice hearing your thoughts as well.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
we,
well.
yeah, I like it because we the
Hmm.
we. I mean, if there was a difference in how things should be done, well, then that's the way it was. But it didn't no bad feelings or arguing, none of that stuff. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, we can have a difference of opinion without, be ready to chop off each other's head.
Yes, that's right, and that's what I like. I like that type of when two people are speaking, that it's like that. And I thank you again for allowing me to come up on your panel.
Oh, no problem.
Yes. And I'm going to say good night to you and enjoy your evening.
All right. You enjoy your evening too.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, bye.
Bye bye. All righty. Okay. Emmanuel Briggs, thanks for hanging in there. Ori, I see you changed your name, unless I got the wrong Ori. It's good to see you. Um, I guess Yvette and everybody else has left for the night. Well, I didn't give y'all no bedtime story. I am so sorry, but this was not bedtime story with Lady Dame. Um, this was just a conversation um, based on what's going on in our communities. Is there some solution that we can come to keep this from happening? Are we going to have to start be willing to put ourselves out there to make the changes that's needed to be done? All right then. All right, y'all have a good night. And let's see. Oh, okay, I still got it on that. All right. So we're gonna leave out with some music. I'm gonna fix me my tea for my cough, and I'll catch y'all next time.